Oracle ULA. So it's unlimited license agreement. You can pay anything to Oracle from $1 million to $50 million. I've seen there's a big difference in pricing. And the price is based on business value. It's not based on your customer size of Oracle estate. So just something to be aware of, and which is like why you don't want to share your deployment data with Oracle, or do you want to share that you are non-compliant with Oracle? Because if you tell Oracle that you're $50 million or euros non-compliant, then any ULA renewal will be based upon that price. You can choose which products you want to include. So it can be applications, it can be technology, it can be middleware, anything really. It's most common to have database ULAs, and second common is database and some middleware products. My own preference is that do not mix the two. If you are a bigger Oracle customer, you could sign one ULA for database and one ULA for middleware. You can have even more ULAs. So the reason behind that is because you will be locked into one support stream, and you want to have as much flexibility as you can. It can be 1 to 5 years long. 3 years is by far the most common, and you can also sign perpetual ULAs with Oracle now. A perpetual ULA means that it never expires. We see that more common in Europe than in other parts of the world, and don't really know the background to that, but that's what we see. So in theory, you can deploy 100,000 processes of Oracle software as long as it's a part of the ULA. So a ULA is only certain Oracle product. You do not have unlimited for all Oracle products. And that's where most customers go wrong, is that they think things are unlimited, and then they relax their software asset management or misunderstand what requires a license, and they start using non-ULA software, and that's causing non-compliance. At the end of the ULA, when the ULA is expiring, the licenses will be converted to perpetual based on your count. So at the end of the ULA, you're supposed to be filling in documents to Oracle, explaining in different degrees how many Oracle licenses do you have. And the ULA, when it ends, it will be converted to perpetual licensing. Important to remember, support will not increase if you exit your Oracle ULA. It will only increase the standard annual rate that you might negotiate with Oracle, but it does not increase. Let's assume that you signed a ULA with Oracle, and you suddenly are exiting your ULA, and you have 2,000 processes of Oracle because you've deployed in virtualized environments. Your support will not go up based upon that count. Just because it's very sort of difficult to understand, so we're making an example here. So you sign an Oracle ULA in 2019. You pay a one-time license fee. It's a 3-year agreement. And in 2022, Oracle will ask you, do you want to renew your ULA, or do you want to exit your ULA? So renew basically means that you're signing a completely new ULA. It's not a renewal in a sense, because you have the opportunity to completely renegotiate your ULA. You have the option to remove certain products. You have option to add new products to the ULA, and so there's a multitude of options available for you. If you renew, it means that you will have to pay Oracle a new license fee. And that license fee might not be the same as you paid the first time. It might be less, it might be more. It might be a lot more if during this process, Oracle, in conversation with you, have discovered that you are not under licensed on Oracle software. Because we can make an example. If you paid 3 million euros for your first ULA in 2019, and then in 2022, or you have given Oracle information, or they have discovered that you're 50 million euros non-compliant, then your new ULA might cost as much as 10, 20, 30 million euros. So this is why you want to keep your cards very close to the chest, because the ULA pricing is not based on how much how big your company is, or revenue, or employees, or your Oracle estate. It's really based on, what is the fictional business value that Oracle believes that you are going to get by signing a ULA. If you exit, and many companies would like to exit their ULA, but they often misunderstand or underestimate the complexity. And I have some numbers here that a lot of companies actually trying to exit their ULA, but did not. Because at the end of the ULA exit process, Oracle will want you to provide, either you run their scripts, or it's basically an audit at the end of the ULA. And I haven't come across a single company that is compliant with their ULA. And then usually the numbers when you have the ULA are so big that a ULA is often the only option available for companies, unless you're willing to pay a lot of money to Oracle. So there's a trade-off you do with Oracle when you sign a ULA. So you might have 100 different database contract licensing agreements with Oracle. And before the ULA, you can terminate one of those contracts and save money on the licenses and support. But when you sign a ULA, they will all be terminated or migrated into a ULA contract. So you will be unable to terminate support going forward unless you terminate the whole ULA contract, which many companies are not able to do. So here, the biggest sort of trap here is that Oracle might say, you want a database ULA, great. We're willing to give you a middleware product and other products as well into this ULA. And you might sound like, wow, that sounds great. What is it going to cost me? And Oracle say, nothing, we're giving it to you for free. But what they're not telling you is that all of these middleware products that you didn't really need to have in an unlimited agreement, you will be unable to terminate that going forward. So they will be locked into this support stream. So it's quite common that I speak to a company that might have an old ULA, and they have a 30% of even 40% of their ULA, they're paying support for products they're no longer using. But they have agreed to a ULA, and they didn't really understand this, that you're locked into the support stream. So just to symbolize this, so here you have different contracts, and all of them will become the new ULA support stream, and it will be unbreakable. The only way to really break this is you can go stop paying maintenance to Oracle altogether for everything. Normally, you probably need to terminate more than 50 or 60 or 70% of your licenses in order to reduce any of your support costs. You can make a calculation of that. But and the third one is that you can maybe decide, I don't want to pay support, and you could go to a third-party support provider, Spinnaker, Support Revolution, something like this, and you pay a third-party support provider to support, and then after 2 or 3 years, you can go back to Oracle and you can sign a new ULA with a much lower total cost of ownership. This is really the only way you can get out of an Oracle ULA. There's no other way. You cannot reduce support. I think, yeah. Do you have any other ideas on this, Paul?
No, it's a question that people ask, of course, and we've seen so many people get into a ULA and then say, right, we're getting off Oracle now, and you go, no, you're not. You can't. And you're right. There's very little you can do to unpick it, except raising it to the ground, getting off Oracle entirely. Nothing else.
Okay, great. Okay, yes. So if you, so this is why, again, why if you enter a ULA, you want to just keep the core products out of it. Don't include these niche products that, BI or SOA suite or anything else that might be replaced. I think database, if you have a large database estate, you're probably not going to get off Oracle anyway. So Mete, the graphics is that we have a good designer who's very good with this.